Welcome to the channel and this first look at a new early access game called Dyson Sphere Program. Now, I have to be completely honest, this game flew completely under my radar, and it wasn't until I had a notification from Sky Storm's channel that he was doing a first look at a new game that I was even aware of the name of it. And when I first saw his video, I thought he had some early access to a game that hadn't even been published. So apologies, I'm a bit late into the game of this, but I must admit I'm a little bit intrigued with the actual gameplay. Now, this game was actually released on the 21st of January 2021, if you're watching this in the future. It is an early access game. It's by a Chinese company, as far as I know, called Youthcap Studios. And probably the best way to describe this game is Factorio in space. Although, to be honest, looking at some of the graphics, it did bring in some memories of Astroneer as well. Now, I'm going to be completely upfront. All I've done with this game so far is done literally 2 or 3 minutes just to set the video recording up. So this is going to be very much me playing the game for the first time, and I really wanted to share that experience with you guys and my first impressions of actually playing the game. Now, I will be upfront. I did watch all of Sky's introduction video, so I've got an idea of how the game actually plays. It's just that I may make myself look a bit of an idiot with respect to the interface. Anyway, let's just get into this. We're going to go new game. Now, as far as I know, the way this actually works is that you've got a cluster seed up here, which means that if you want to play the game, now as far as I know, this game only has a single player option, so you can't play multiplayer at the moment. But if you click random down here, you do get different star systems, and one of the focuses of this game is to build a Dyson Sphere. Now, if any of you are not sure what a Dyson Sphere is, it's a big mega construct that in theory could envelop a sun that will absorb all the sun's power and give effectively infinite power to whoever managed to build it. But it's something that's way off in the future. As far as I know, that is the long-term objective of this game, but of course there's going to be a lot of resource collection and building, and if any of you are familiar with Factorio, you'll be aware of that. Although I'm going to be completely honest, it's a couple of years since I've played Factorio, and I was never particularly that good at it because I came a bit late to the game. And I think one of the important things with these types of games is, especially when they're in early access like this, you really got to get in on the ground floor. Trying to learn all the mechanics once the game is matured can be a little bit tricky. Anyway, I think we'll go with this. I don't think it makes any difference. I think this actually changes the number of stars. We'll play with 64. And I think the only other option here is the resource modifier. I think we'll push that up to 2 so that I don't make a complete fool of myself. On the right hand side here, you get a breakdown of all the different star types, which is the star classifications. And I suppose once you get a feel for what you're trying to build, this will mean a bit more. And we're just going to go start game and see what happens. There's a hold control and click on items inventory. So we start out in space, flying through the galaxy, and we can moving the mouse around.
Welcome to the actual universe. You may find it's different from our homeland. Should you be able to adapt to the laws of physics in a short time, I am your advisor and will help you through this mission.
Okay, a bit of advice would be useful, but if you move the mouse, you seem to be able to free look. The pressing the center mouse button seems to allow you to rotate. I'm not sure whether I'm actually flying this or...
Everything here is yours. As one of Cosmo and the pioneer of the Dyson Sphere Program, you will explore this cluster step by step. By using the resources here to construct the Dyson Sphere to provide energy for the center brain to maintain homeland, starting from scratch. I have chosen a designated planet for you to start the mission, which has necessary resources for initial development. Now please drive the space capsule to the planet.
I think flying the spaceship you could use the WASD keys. So if you can't, you can move them around here. And I think the space bar is up. Anyway, just fly in here. So I'll try and not make a complete idiot of myself. And in some ways, this brings back slight memories of Imperium.
Now you are about to reach the designated planet.
Yep. And I've lost control. The game's taken over now, so it's obviously going to choose the landing site. I presume when you move to another planet, you'll be able to fly in yourself. Although you won't be using the spaceship. So as you can see, as we're landing, this layout is a kind of less hostile version of Astroneer.
This is Icarus,
Icarus.
a lightweight industrial mecha with powerful functionality. You can use the arrow keys or click on the destination to control its movement. In this mission, you will manipulate Icarus to travel beyond the stars and create miracles.
This has actually got slight vision of the Minotaur in No Man's Sky.
Space capsule.
Thank you. Yeah,
Right-click on it to recycle.
Wait, stop. Yeah, so this actually looks a bit like Minotaur in No Man's Sky. It actually moves slightly like the Minotaur as well. So any of you who play No Man's Sky, you probably might get a feeling for that. What we got to do is we got to right-click, haven't we? I think right-click is what actually gets you to do something. We're collecting something from here.
You can use the same operation to collect resources, such as trees, gravel, etc. In the meantime, hold down Shift and
if we move away,
to give a series of commands.
If we hold Shift, so we can basically say go click that. Can we click plants as well? Yeah. Okay. Just gonna let him do his stuff. I'll zoom out a bit. So we got down in the bottom right here. We've got a details of display, inventory, replicator, mecha panel, statistics panel, and technology. So we're going to open the inventory. So we've got, so what we've got here: take items, split items, take multiple items of the same type, take items.
Yet you have not unlocked the construction menu, which will be done automatically when complete any technology research. Click the technology tree button at the bottom right of the screen, technology tree, and activate a research.
Can I leave this open? Wow. I must admit, when I saw this on Sky's video, I thought, wow. And bearing in mind, this is probably the beginning of even more text being added over time. And I think the upgrade screen here relates to the Icarus. So we can upgrade Icarus as well. So there's certainly a lot. This is definitely a long duration game. I think I've got a bit of a leak through here on the screen. Now, if we start here, Dyson Sphere Program, I think the only thing we can do straight away is make this. And I think if we click, and what we will see, we're going to get a wind turbine, a Tesla tower, and a mining machine. I'm just going to click that. What's this say? Use inventory items. Okay. Double click item. Kick this off or not? Or energy depletes soon. Refuel.
Energy is required in all mecha activities. Completed, the activities will be restricted. You can click the mecha panel button at the bottom right of the screen to open the mecha panel and resupply fuel into the fuel chamber.
Oh, so we consume fuel. It didn't tell me that. Thank you, game. I think we'll take some of those out. I think he's probably getting a bit carried away. Is that actually doing the research now? Okay, we'll just close that machine. I think we're going to cancel you. I think if we collect logs and the oops, no, don't really like that with the fact that if you move away it cancels the operation. So we're just going to gather some of these logs here. Black research. How do we get this running then? Oh, so you click here, resume, use inventory items. Yes, so we got to make these. What do we need for these then? We need rings and copper plates. I think it's the replicator, isn't it? So what do we need? We need copper plates. We got copper plates. We got magnets. We need to make these. How many of these do we make? We need 10. So we make 5 of these. Oops. I think the way it works is that when you make these, that then goes to the tech tree. Yep. I'm assuming that later on you're going to have more efficient ways of doing things. I think we're just going to keep knocking down some of these trees. Okay, we've now created electromagnetism. I think we're what we got here.
You
What
have
is it?
created a mining machine to achieve ore collecting automation.
Okay.
Pick it up from the inventory, or select it on Gathering of Construction menu to build it.
Where would I want to build this? What is this? This iron. Let me just move away here. What we'll do is we'll just come in.
It's covered, the faster the ores will be gathered. If you want to ignore grid snapping, try holding down the shift key.
This only rotates around one way. I suppose that will do. And what we need to do is get in a little bit further. I suppose it would help if I actually learnt the... So we got this here. Where am I? stood in the middle of it. And of course we're going to need power. So we'll just go into the inventory. Now the power source we got is wind turbines, but I want space to, because one of the things we're going to be doing with this is actually laying in conveyors. So I think put a Tesla tower in like that. And then
you have done building the first power transmission facility, Tesla Tower.
And then if I put
it
this,
can carry out short distance wireless power transmission
and
expand the power supply area of the power grid.
We now got this collecting.
Current power grid information. Wind turbine.
So
You have established your first power grid.
So this is running at
Not all power facilities
71%.
has its power supply area. Use the Tesla Tower to
Insufficient
extend the
power
area
supply.
of
So
the
we
power
really got to
grid.
make another. What do we need for? Not that replicator. We got here buildings. Oh, I need another wind turbine. What do I need for that then? Can we make two of these? Standard. So we need gears. How do we make gears? We make gears from. We make it. I'm assuming this will work. So if we collect the iron and the steel, actually I think we can get iron from here, can't we? Yeah, because I think how much does this hold? Wow, this certainly picks up the power, even if it's not 100% efficient. Inventory. Oh, let's use the E key, I think. We'll put in. Oh, so you've got to space them. You can't get them any closer than that. So you kind of get an overlapping power grid like that. Is this now 100% efficient? I'm assuming. I'm trying to scroll across the screen to look, and of course I'm moving the mech. So I'm going to need to remember not to use the WSAD keys, but actually use the thing. So pick you up as well. So quick construction mode, shift mode. So we've now got this here. What we're going to need to do next is power grid establishments. We've got a power grid. I presume what we nearly need to do now is research some tech. Or actually gather some more resources. What we got over here? What's this? This is stone. What would we let me just check the technology tree. Upgrades. Okay. What can we upgrade then? Mech core. What's this? Well, I think we'll go with that. Let's get this go here. So we got. Well, that actually. So if we produce the steel plates and copper plates, we'll be able to do that. So I come to the inventory. Not the inventory, the replicator, and we'll make 10 of those and 10 of those. We're going to need some more copper, aren't we? Let's find some resources around here. I thought that was 10. Is it 17? Or is it just counting down? Well, we can always make some more. Make another. Because of course, with the long term of this game, you will be needing to automate a lot of stuff here. What is that? This coal. I presume this is an energy source as well. So we're getting low on power again as well. Mechman, we use this, a plant fuel, okay, and we put some logs in as well. Okay, we've got upgraded our mech. We've got to be able to do something else besides this. I think there's a research tech here. What I wouldn't mind doing is getting some of that copper built over here. Oh, we got a little jetpack as well. Can I replicate it? Can I make another one of these? Make one of them. Oh, that's good. It actually, as long as you've got the raw resources, it actually builds it for you automatically, a bit like Imperium. That's good, because one of the things that really annoys me with games like this, if you've got to build all the individual items, we can come here and take another. Keep that topped up. Can we get rid of these? Yeah, we can get rid of these. That red barrier is kind of... I thought I'd topped up my Mechman. I suppose it is rising very slowly. Ah, so if you stand still, you recharge. So the truth is, what we need to do is try and automate this as much as possible. Okay. Right, we've got another one of these. Let's remember, I'm using the mouse. Just shift that round. If we can get that in, say, that position, we might be able to cover all these in one go. Oh, look at that. It's just one. Can we rotate this round that way? I was half hoping that we could rotate both ways, but it looks like we can only rotate one way. Zoom in a bit and see if we are building on water or something like that. That's giving me problems. Need foundation support. Ah, because we're building out over water. Okay, let's just shift this a little bit. Come around like that. Because it goes without saying with my luck that so we can only really. Yeah, we're gonna have to build with there. Not as efficient as it should be, but and just pulls out of that. Of course, we're gonna have to put power in here. We got the 3 wind turbines up here, so what we're gonna need is a replicator. Probably gonna need at least 2 of these, won't we? And then we can get that built there. While that's actually being built, what we'll do is we'll look at the technologies. Now, there is a technology in here somewhere which gives you conveyor belts. Let me see. I should really pay more attention when I'm watching other people's videos. Electromagnetic basic assembly plant. Wow, there's just so many technologies here. Ah, here we are. Conveyors. Okay, we're gonna activate you, and we're gonna need. What are these? These are circuit boards and gears. We're gonna have to make circuit boards and gears. What do we need for circuit boards? Copper and we got plenty of copper, so we can make a. I think we'll just make. We're gonna need loads of these anyway, so we might as well just whack in there and build them. And just let that get that underway. Can we pick up stuff from here at range? Like that, the fact that you haven't got to walk all the way to them. to pick everything up. Oh, you can stand here and just keep clicking. Wow. Of course, that's not exactly the efficient way of doing things. Already run out of stuff there. Punch out some of those. And we need make some more of those. Just keep whatever's going. I get rid of this? Or was that just, I suppose that's just telling me that I'm doing the research. Right, inventory. I've made a couple of these, so how far can I stretch this? Would I be cheeky like that? Okay, we've now completed some research.
You have received the sorter and the conveyor belt, which can achieve full automation now. Use the conveyor belt to transport the piled up ores from the mining machine, and the sorter can deliver the ores from the conveyor belt to the smelter for automatic smelting.
I was hoping that that would be enough, but obviously it's not. So, lesson learned there. Replicator. Buildings. We're just going to have to make another Tesla tower. We'll just make. I think we'll make 2 of those. Because we're going to have to put some form of conveyor belt system in now. What else can we build? Let me just see. Buildings. We got storage. We got mining machine, conveyor. What we really need. What does the smelter do? Is there a smelter? I think this is a smelter, isn't it? That's assembly machine. This is looks like here. Smelter. High temperature smelting used for purification of crystal smelting. I really need to activate this as well, don't I? So we need to make some of these, and yeah, I think that will work. So we need more doors. We'll produce 10 of those. Going through a lot of power with my mech, haven't I? We do have some coal ore, so we can charge him up with that. Inventory. If I put this, say, about here, I don't know whether these conveyors actually need... so... Put you there. Let's escape. We've now got this here. Now the question, so if I make a smelter and put it somewhere, and we can run a conveyor belt to it. Let me see. What do I need to make conveyor belts? What do I need for a conveyor belts? Cogs. You need automatic conveyor belts, so those basic needs the part. So we make about 3 of those. One day I will actually learn. So we've got a smelter. Now, as far as I know, conveyor belts only work in right angles. So I think what we'll do is we'll bring a conveyor belt out and put a smelter there. Because I don't want to get too wrapped up in this, because obviously this is very much my first look. So apologies for any of you who are a little bit offended by my layout. But obviously, once I get the feel for how things work, then I'll be a bit more efficient in my layout. Because, as I said in the intro, it's a long time since I've actually played Factorio or any game like this. I must admit, I did buy Satisfactory, but the 3D planetary effect didn't really grab me. So what we got in our inventory? We've got players. For the purposes of this video, we're just going to build this.
Try holding down the shift key.
Oh, there's little drones coming out and doing things. Okay, let's just get rid of that. Whoops. I think what we'll do is come in here. We'll just put a smelter. If I put the smelter, I presume they're going to need power, so if we put it there.
and products get in and out of it autonomously. You need
Let's
to use
please
sorters
select a
and conveyor
recipe.
belts. The sorter is a transportation connector of cargoes between facilities. It will automatically transport them as long as the supply facility and the receiving facility are bridged.
Obviously, I haven't connected the conveyor. I don't know whether I can... Okay, a bit of a fail there, but we'll be okay. I think I've messed this up, haven't I? Let me just go over... Let me just do it over here. Hard lesson being learned. Yeah, so we've actually got to start inside of the... Wait, we got... We'll just clear this out. It's getting a bit tangled. Inventory. We'll just put this in here for purposes of the exercise, and we'll put a Tesla tower there, and we're just... I want to get one of the... Oops, sorry. Hey. Like the recipe iron plates. Oops, I didn't put the mech thing over here. Can you... I'll just get that built. Just dismantle that. I think what I've done is I've actually put this wrong way around. That's better. Yep, took a little bit of working out. I've put them the wrong way round. What we need to do is just come into here and... Oops. Dismantle that. Dismantle this, dismantle this. Let's just dismantle this out a bit. I'm here for the complete experience. Yeah, so I worked out how to dismantle things. And I'm just going to dismantle this completely, actually, I think, so we can get this working. And what I'm going to do is just drag this down like that. Get this, build this again. Yep, so that's actually got the connection now. You can see the copper ore is now coming out. And the key thing here is that if you're going to connect this up, you've got to, if you want it to go in, you've got to drag from the conveyor into the smelter. If you want it to come out, you do it the opposite way around. So we'll just build that. That's that out there. And you can see we've now got the... Got to remember not to... So we're now using copper plates. So of course we can now click on here to retrieve them. Of course, a more elegant solution would be to... can we get a drag a conveyor out? Come out that way. Come on. Ah, we can't do it that way, can we? What we need is another conveyor. We'll just do this as an example. Where time is... Goodness, is that too close? Okay, cancel. What is that? We've got no conveyors. Okay, we're just going to knock out a couple of conveyors. Oops. Build 3 more. Actually, so we're just going to build some of those. So green's getting a little bit cluttered at the moment. We'll just switch that off. And get that out of the way. So we've now got copper ingots and iron ingots here. And I suppose what we would need to do is... What we got here? What's this? Assembly machine. So this... Ideally, we need to make this, don't we? We got copper and plates there, so we can have an assembly machine in the middle to make things. But that's probably a bit beyond this video. We're just going to come in here. Should be able to do now is build a way out this way. There. What I want is a... Let's make a Mark 1. What we got here? What do we need here? Stone. And what we're going to do is drag this out and there, build that. I think there's some stone over here, so we're gonna have to do our little bit of a contribution towards this. So we'll make some stone. I'm running out of power again. I think we'll just drop these in. Iron ore, stone ore. Yeah, we're out of copper. We can put some logs in as well. We should be able. Oops. Got to remember not to move away from that. What I would like to do is build one of these, just as a build two of them, just to get this set up, just to do the basics for the game. I think you've got enough, done enough for this, so, and I think we've got enough inventory. Let's just click on here, go to the inventory. Have we got any conveyors? No, we haven't. Okay, let's just go to the replicator. We're just going to build 3 more conveyors. Oops. And we'll just go to the inventory. That's an assembly machine. We've got a storage machine here, so we're just going to pack you there.
You built a storage, which can be used to store cargo. You can manually store or use the sorter to automatically stock the cargo.
We've got Tesla Tower. Game was just going to put you over there. And what we've got now is this producing copper plates, this storing copper plates. You can see the storage here, storage mark 1, 30. That means if we want this, we can just pull them out of here into here. Of course, more importantly, we can chain these things now to go into other directions. And we've got, I can do exactly the same here. I just want to see if I can go this way. And we've got, you can load to there. We've got, so we've got storage up there, and we've got no more. Go to the replica, not that, sorry. It's the replicator. We're just going to make one of these just to close that off. And built that, and what we should be able to do now is hook you into there. Got to get used to WASD for moving him, and camera, mouse for moving around the map. Although I would guess the temptation would be just to move around. So after a little bit of a struggle, I've managed to build a basic production system. Obviously there's a lot more to do because we got assembly processor here than what we could have done if we wanted to. I mean, apologies, it's a bit of a mess, but this is very much me playing the game for the first time, and as you can see, the game is relatively straightforward, but at the same time it's got a few foibles which it's going to take a little bit of practice to work with. I must admit, and we could put an assembly machine in here, say, and then what we could do is run, so then you could either run the resources directly from the smelter, but me being me, I would probably be more inclined to have an intervention store in between, something like that, and then I'd connect up other conveyors to the whatever they call them, the assemblers. It's just build an assembler out of curiosity. I'm not going to connect it up. I just want to see what you could actually build in here. So we could have built circuit boards, gears, and components. I think this is one of the aspects of this game, is that what you really need to do is get down the tech tree and spend a little bit of time looking at what you got here. What's this? Electromagnetic matrix. One of the 5 basic source codes for keep this center brain stimulated. Oh yeah, I think I've seen this. This is some researchers need these blue and red boxes. I think it's very similar to what was the research was in Factorio, where you had, was it the flasks of chemicals, I think, wasn't it? Chemicals, correct me if I'm wrong. As I say, it's a couple of years since I played Factorio. So if you want, so probably one of the first things you're going to need to do production wise is set up something that will actually produce those blue things. It's the electronic matrix. So you'd have to build one of these, which then needs magnetic cores and circuit boards. So if you're going to take this forward, the electromagnetic matrix would probably be something that you do want to look at. And I've just noticed that I've gone on a lot longer than I originally intended. This video was meant to be about 20 minutes long. Conclusions, yes, I like it. I must admit, I did have reservations about the graphics. I think this is very much one of the games you're very interested into building logistic systems and complex machines. This is a game that's really going to pull you in, and I can see it's going to consume a lot of time, which is quite a great risk for me, because I'm very tempted to actually play this more, but at the moment I'm a bit overextended already. So what I would say is, yes, I'm very impressed with the game, especially as this is an early access game. It's got a lot of features in it, and more importantly, the question you've got to ask is what is going to be added at a later date, which is going to be quite fascinating. So at the very least, I'm going to be tracking this game. I'm not going to guarantee that I'm going to be doing a full-blown series from the get-go, simply because I think this is one of the games that you do need to spend a little bit of time learning the basics and becoming familiar with setting up production lines before you commit to going all full out for it. And I have to admit, I'm going to need to refresh my memory of this logistics type games. I mean, it's similar to Workers and Resources, but at the same time it's not. But if you want to see a series, feel free to chuck it in the comments. If you've got any other observations on the game, feel free to chuck it in the comments. If you think I was doing absolutely terrible, I agree completely. Feel free to pass on any tips if you're already playing the game. So this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed this first impression, and until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.